I'm going to start this video off today with an excerpt from my new book, which is not out yet. I'm hoping it'll find a good home soon. Okay, starts with the quote, "I'm not ready yet, I need more time." What will it take to move beyond the notion that you need more inner work, more healing, and more time before you can really live? What will it take to move beyond always healing your past wounds and stepping beyond the boundaries of yourself? First of all, this is not a pep talk. This is about excuses you've made for yourself up until this point about why you can't live. Living is not a job, nor a location, nor is it money. It's not about glamour or fame or having the latest and greatest gadgets. It's about your relationship with your world, the lens through which you see. It's about what makes you really come alive and your vibrancy in the world. See, authentic self-love gets pleasure in simplicity. It doesn't compare or seek love externally. It's not our identity. It doesn't try to fit a narrative or want to feel special only if it fits into a societal expectation, nor does it feel ordinary, impatient, or need to create issues of separation. Authentic self-love just is. So I thought I'd talk about this idea of, and I'm going to call it the archetype of the wounded warrior. The wounded warrior. The person or being who never seems to heal. It's almost like an addiction to healing. And I've been kind of noticing this a lot, and this isn't a video to say that I'm, and I've said this before in many other videos, I'm not any more enlightened than anybody else. I'm not any better than anybody else. But I want to talk about this because it's something that I've been observing, is that a lot of people, and it's also why we have bookstores full of, and I've said this before, full of personal development, self-help section. It's like this unending cycle of like healing and trying to grow and never getting to a point of completion. And I want to ask, is there ever a point where we're actually healed, where we're actually complete? I mean, that's the goal of all these courses we're taking and these books we're reading, right? Is to move beyond this notion. Well, here's the thing. Reality changes as our perception changes. So some of us can become stuck in a way. And this is what I mean by the wounded warrior. The person who never, who finds comfort in being wounded almost, where they can't change that script or move from being this person with this experience attached to them and can't get out of that. And I know this is where therapy comes in, and a lot of courses and books and things to really help you move beyond this. But I feel like it's so difficult for people to get beyond this, and I just want to talk about how, again, reality changes based on perception. So think about this. Why do we like nostalgia so much, right? Or have you ever noticed that you've been through a really bad experience in your life, and then years later you think about it and it doesn't have the same effect. It doesn't have the same oomph, the same emotion. Does that mean we've healed from it? Does it mean we've escaped from it? Does it change because it's less intense and it's like in the past, so what exactly is healing? Do we have a definition for what healing is? What is being healed? Let's read y'all another quote from our buddy Carl Jung. So Carl Jung said it best: everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. If an inferiority is conscious, one always has a chance to correct it. Furthermore, it is constantly in contact with other interests, so that it is continually subjected to modifications. But if it is repressed and isolated from consciousness, it never gets corrected. So this could apply to the notion, the unending cycle of never feeling healed. Almost like this attachment is so strong that, a person may say, if I claim myself as healed, it will never be the same. Like, it's an issue with an unconscious shadow that the person has not dealt with. So this is a complicated thing because I think a lot of people are struggling in that they get addicted to healing modalities and thinking that they're never complete. And this can go on till death. This could go on for the rest of somebody's life. And I think it's an attachment issue. It's still some sort of shadow in there. Either that or it's just the fear that I am comfortable in this state. I can't let go of this. This is part of me. This is part of me forever. Why can't we release it, right? That's the true question. I'm always fighting to heal. This is the life theme for the wounded warrior. I'm always fighting. I'm always fighting. I'm always struggling. I'm always trying to get to that end result. But the end result doesn't necessarily come. It's an addiction, right? And it's addiction. We can get addicted to our trauma just as we can get addicted to healing our trauma. Same thing. You could argue it's not, but it is the same thing. It's still this attachment. And there's still something in there. Why can't we let go of this attachment? It's almost like we'll feel guilty if we're completely healed, if we recognize ourselves as whole and complete. So this is, it's almost like being people who are always stuck in, and nostalgia is cool. I love nostalgia, things from the past, you know, we're always like, oh, things were better back then. You know, were they actually better? We had problems back then too. But reality changes as time goes on, right? Where we look back and we're comparing, and the brain is a funny thing. But some people get stuck in the past, stuck in nostalgia, just stuck in, oh, things were better back then, better. Now they suck. Things aren't always great, we know right now. But if you got stuck in the past, think about it. This is similar to the wounded warrior, somebody who is always in their trauma, in their victimhood, in their healing process, but never feeling fully healed. And this can go on for years and years and years, up until a person, you know, to the end of their life, like I said. So it is an issue with being stuck in the past. And this really relates to, and I'm just thinking about this now, wood element. If you know anything about the 5 elements, the wood element is the archetype of the warrior, okay? The strong warrior, very determined, their life theme is basically conquer the world. Life is an uphill battle, struggle, no pain, no gain. Got to get through, got to put the work in, you know, a lot of force behind it. And wood can also get stuck in the past. They have a tendency to get stuck in the past, whereas something like a metal element is more about the future and looking beyond. So being stuck in the past is not necessarily a healthy thing. It can be toxic if we get attached to it too much, because what happens is we're never living in the present. We're never aware where we are. We're never recognizing that we already are whole and complete no matter what happened to us, okay? It's finding wisdom in the experience. And I think true evolution happens when we take an experience and it's no longer, it's still with us, but in a different way, okay? Whereas the wounded warrior says, it's almost like if you had like this growth just attached to your arm. This is like your trauma. This is that experience that never leaves your side. But it's always like you're going throughout life, you know, being stuck in the wounded warrior in the past, always going through life, trying every topical treatment, trying to cut it off, trying everything, and it keeps growing back. And you can't get rid of it. And you're really fighting, trying to just get rid of it. Whereas the evolved self, and this, by the way, trying to get rid of, this is coming at it from a very humanistic standpoint, okay? Because as a human being, we are the middle point, the connection between the cosmos and the earth. That's what makes us so special, because we have this ability to keep our feet planted on earth, live in this human form, but we're also connected to everything. We're a microcosm of the universe, which gives us our power, right? Which gives us the ability to create things out of nothing, which is amazing. So the very humanistic part of us will say, this growth, I want to just get rid of it. I want to cut it off. I want to just forget about it. Forget about it. And what happens? We try every topical cream and every remedy in the books, like bookstores of every self-help book, personal development, every course out there, everything to try and get over this trauma, to try to just get rid of this growth that's so toxic to me. Whereas the evolved self, the self that is connected, that knows that you're a microcosm of the universe, that everything happens for a reason. Every experience, you find wisdom in it. Okay, I have this, but you know what? It's just part of my arm. I don't need to cut it off. I don't need to get rid of it. I know what it was at the time. It was toxic, but you know what? I have another arm. I have another leg. I have a whole being, and I'm not going to let this one thing ruin my ability to be a conscious creator in this world. Right? I'm going to take this and, like a tattoo, like as people get tattoos that have sayings on them, right? To remind them when they look in the mirror every day, to like motivate them. I'm going to look at this as my motivator. I'm going to look at this and find the wisdom in this experience so that I can encompass this in my life, so that I can move about the world, so that I can talk to people and say, look at this. I'm not trying to escape from it. I'm not trying to get rid of it. Okay? Maybe it was ugly and I would fight with it and try to just cut it off and burn it off and freeze it off, and it would always come back, you know? But this was part of me. This was part of me. But this is not me. This is part of my past, right? But I have all the rest of me that I'm encompassing, right? Because I'm a microcosm of everything around me, of all the elements around me. And I'm not going to get stuck there, okay? So, you know, we can be addicted to anything, right? We can be addicted to escapism, to drugs, to alcohol, to healing, right? And that's what I see a lot of people now. They're just like doing everything in the book to just try and get rid of the trauma. But you know what? That experience is always going to be there unless you get hooked up to some system and they bzz, you know, something in your brain that just completely obliterates it. It was there. But you know what? Your perception of your past can always change, right? Where it doesn't hit you the same way. It doesn't trigger you the same way. You know, I always say things like that. You know, I've had things in my life where, you know, many, many years ago, it was like so hard and so emotional and such a bad, you know, thing I was dealing with. I dealt with it for many years, like disordered eating and that was just like encompassed my world and stuff. But now I look back on it and my whole reality has shifted on it. And it's allowed me to learn so much and allowed me to grow so much as a person and change my relationship with food and the world around me and stuff like that. So, you know, will we ever be fully healed? I don't think healing is just getting rid of trauma. It's shifting how you think about the trauma. It's morphing it into something beautiful, essentially, something that can help the world, that can help others, that can really allow you to just like open up your mind, you know, for certain things. And that's how I see it, you know? So rather than a shadow being stuck there, you know, I mean, it's pulling up the shadow, you know, not leaving it repressed and consciously taking a look at that shadow. What does that shadow mean? What is it trying to tell me in life? What is it trying to tell me in life? So anyway, that's all I got for today. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share this video if you enjoyed it. I really appreciate you watching this channel. I really, really do. Please help support by subscribing if you haven't done so already. And until next time, I will see you on the next video.